source of audio. Here we are. Just reset this real quick. Reset this real quick. Hello, hello. I think we're good to go. As always, with these streams, we're starting with the cat. Let me just put up a... He's currently sitting at the door, harnessed up, ready to go outside. So I'm playing catch up here. But just in case the remote microphone dies, technical difficulties, BRB. But hopefully it doesn't come to that. Okay, let's catch up to the cat. He's had his treat. He's got his harness on. He's had his monthly meds. And now he's outside somewhere. Where is he? There he is. Let's get this lead on him. Good boy, Stormy. Thank you, Bob.
I'll turn brightness up. But YouTube is up.
So before we get to the motorbike part of the stream, we can procrastinate by taking the cat for a walk. And I can think about what I've gotten myself into. He has been desperate the last 2 days for some, what's it called, enrichment. We left him home alone yesterday, and he was very upset at us for that. So today he gets a bit of enrichment. He's going to go into the shed. We're going to get a preview of the bike. Where we go in, cat. This is what is ahead of us. This is what is in our near future. But for now, we take the cat for a walk. As you can see, I did acquire myself some schematics. Lowest possible resolution PNG I could find. So we'll see if that's enough to help me put the carburetors back together. I think it will be. I think you can tell from that picture which jet is which and whatnot. It'll be fine, I'm sure. I have it printed out as well, so I don't just have to stare at it on my phone. If you go on old school, what does the cat see? I don't know what he sees. We always have, but I don't know, for whatever reason, the birds mostly hang out in the morning and the afternoon. But they might reappear at various points during the day. But none here to bother Storm at the moment. Because the noisy miners really do love annoying him. They'll sit above him and just scream their lungs out. Which, to be deserved, to be honest. Because Storm would hunt them if he could. If I wasn't literally holding him back. You wouldn't tell it by looking at this section of the garage. Garden. We're not in the garage yet. Garage comes later. Once Stormy has had his walk, then we'll get into the garage. But you wouldn't tell it by this section of the garden. But it is in fact winter right now. This section of the garden is vibrant during the winters. I'm sure it smells something vibrant as well. Hey, Stormy. Otherwise he wouldn't be so interested in sniffing it. Big jump, kitty. He's gonna force me to crawl through this gap behind him. Ugh. Ow. Okay, I'm through. Huh? Why are you howling at me? What did I do to you? Because I was so clumsy in following you? That's his unhappy meow. Why did he do his unhappy meow at me? I didn't pull at his lead or anything. Oh my god. I don't know if you... Stormy. He's doing his very unhappy howling meows. I don't know how much, if any of that, is getting picked up on the mic. But he's a grumpy kitty right now. Why are you so grumpy, Stormy? That's the type of... Oh, there's a lizard in there, but I think he kind of missed it. Or he's just distracted by something else. That's the type of meows he gives me when he freaking bites me and I yell at him to go to his room. And then he gives those howling meows that are like, no, I'm an innocent cat. I don't deserve to go to my room. Stormy. What the fuck? What's wrong, kitty? He's like properly hissing. What on earth is wrong with you, cat? Is your harness upsetting you? I don't think he's in the mood for me to get any closer. I do not do his harness up tight, but maybe it's sitting incorrectly. I always follow you when you're outside, Stormy. That's not gonna change, kitty. Stormy, are you doing okay, kitty? Maybe he doesn't like my tone of voice. Maybe I have to watch how I'm talking because he thinks I'm getting him in trouble or something. If I just put on a just neutral toned voice. that conveys not punishment. He is not a happy kitty right now. Ah, you Stormy. Stormy, what's wrong, kitty? Bro, he's straight up hissing at me. What the fuck? Can let you back inside if you want, cat. You want to go back inside? Door's right here. You can come in if you want. Door's open. Yeah, he wants in. He was hissing at me, Burb. Like, proper hissing. That only happens like once in a blue moon. He really didn't want to go on his walk today. We'll go give him his Treatos as a reward for coming back inside. If he lets me near him, I'll take his harness off. Come on, Stormy. Treato time. De-harnessing time. There you go, kitty. Let's take your stuff off. There you go. Get your harness off. Look, he's not hissing at me now. Come on, have some treats, cat. There you go. What odd behavior from Storm today. He's been begging to go outside all morning. He really didn't appreciate me walking behind him. Okay, let's get ourselves in the shed. Let's get my shoes, my water. Some technology. Okay, let's get to the shed. The cat did not allow us to procrastinate for very long. So now we just got to get stuck into it. Oh, nice sunshine. And then back into the cold shade. All right, let's see how we can set up here. Do I want the camera down here? I think so. I think this is where we had it last time. I think so. I'm probably going to have to reset my microphone when I plug it into power. It doesn't stay connected properly, usually. Figure that out in a second. I can see YouTube chat, by the way. And this is a YouTube exclusive stream, this one. Do not have Twitch going because I don't have enough phones to see Twitch and YouTube chat. So it's just YouTube. So prop this up. So let me just end the video and audio feed for a second and I'll be right back. Hello, hello. We are back. So when I plug the power in, I just have to restart like that. Okay, so, oh, I didn't get the printout. Shit. Be right back. You guys can see the printout on the screen, but I don't have it with me. Let me just run inside and pick it up. Ooh. Wonder if the cat's gonna be in here. Where did I have the printouts? Here they are. Okay, hopefully this one PNG is going to be enough to put the put the carburetors back together again. Before we start that, I got my torch here. Let's have a take a look inside the fuel tank. Yeah, that is definitely looking like so much better. So much better than it used to. It can probably last for another few years before it gets rusted enough again to cause problems. There is a little bit of gunk in there that I got to try and get out somehow. Just like stick a rag on an end of a stick and shove it in there and scrape it around. But yeah, there was like layers of rust like flaking off the bottom of this fuel tank when we started. So it is way better now. Even if it does still look a bit dingy, I think it will last for a while. But let's put this on the ground for the time being. We have other things to do. Let's get ourselves some space here. Okay, reassembly. We have the old parts here that have been cleaned up. We have new parts over here, which, like, I've cleaned the old parts pretty thoroughly. Really, we just need the gaskets and the rubber seals out of them, really. But we may as well replace them anyway. There's no point holding on to them. But yeah, these are looking kind of nice now. These are looking kind of nice and clean. They definitely still look their age, but I think we did a pretty good job cleaning these up. Okay, I remember what we did last time. We have this we have this piece stuck in here. Like, it's actually stuck. I put it in there and then I couldn't get it out again. So let's see if that is actually the correct spot for it to go. By looking at the diagram, which is unfortunately this way up. So it's actually a lot harder to tell what goes where. Wait, I'm now realizing, looking at this for the first time. I think, we did need to put a rubber gasket on the other side of this. That's like, this is part 20 on the diagram. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but we are going to need to take that out and put a gasket underneath it. Hello, Murphy. How's it going? Look, it's a nightmare of my own creation. I have no one else to blame for this but me. I could have just gone to the bike shop and been like, hey, can you guys do a carburetor rebuild? That'd be great. Oh, look, I do have a gasket on it. It comes with one already, so maybe I didn't need to pull that out. Are you mechanically minded at all, Murphy? Because Lord knows I could use the help if you are. It's like, it does. I don't think there's a second gasket on here. That would be crazy. It's kind of hard to tell, though. I don't think that's real. No, that's not real. The second gasket is fake news. Wait, did I? Oh, okay. I have two of the same thing here because I pulled it out of another packet. Oh, we'll figure that out. Okay, so this goes in here. This is part number 20. And then that can just go in here, and that's done. That's that section right there, done. Move this a little closer for you guys. In fact, let me move this camera entirely. We can get in real close with this. How does this look? Maybe a little further back. Tilt a little further forward. Okay, we have successfully put two pieces back on the carburetor. We do have brand new floats as well. Yeah, not that we particularly need them, but we've got them, so we may as well. Brand new floats. We will take this part. This is part number 34 on that diagram. We'll screw that back in. Just the drain screw. Okay, part 34 done. Let's throw the gasket in there. Do we need to like dip the gasket in fuel or something? I know when you change the oil gaskets, you put a layer of oil around it before you tighten the oil filter up. Do you need to do that with carburetor gaskets as well? Also, who would have thought this cheap ass gasket I bought off eBay doesn't fit very well? It's just like a few millimeters off in every direction simultaneously somehow. Okay, what else can we do? It is actually really hard from this from this picture to tell which jets go where. But we have so this piece we don't have a new part for. So we use the old part. And this looks like part number 17 on the diagram. I think that's pretty clear. And it needs a washer. So probably these ones here are different sizes. But it also kind of has a washer on it already. A rubber gasket washer already. But if we're looking at this diagram, we're looking at it this way. This one goes in here, and then it has part 19 in the top of it, which is just a little screw cap type thing. One of these or one of these. Old versus new, doesn't really matter. And then to the left-hand side of that is another jet. No, let's go this long one. This long one goes back here, I think. Oh, it doesn't really fit well. Oh, God. What is part 28? Even with the diagram, this is so much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Okay, the left-hand side. What about part 32, 31? That's like this guy plus a spring. And to me, it looks like it goes in here. Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think it does. But there's still, we need like a washer or something on the end of it. That fits pretty nicely. You know what? I probably should have printed off the individual numbers as well. That might have been helpful. But I think we go washer and then gasket by the looks of it from this very, very low resolution PNG we have. Is it the smallest gasket? No, I think it's the second smallest. This guy. So I think that just goes in here. It's going to be a bit tricky to get in without it all falling. Oh, there we go. I just dropped it down the incorrect hole. So spring, washer, gasket. How do we even get it in here? Maybe we go sideways. This might be the play. We get a screwdriver. Pretty sure that one is successfully in, dare I say. I'll be straight up. I don't know what half these parts are doing. Like, this just looks like it's fully blocking off a hole. What is its purpose? And like, should I not be screwing this up all the way? Fuck, it just keeps falling out, doesn't it? So that one we just screwed in there is just going inside the carburetor here and just sticking out. What could its purpose possibly be? How important is any of these parts? Is it meant to be sticking out, or are we meant to back it off a little bit so it's flush? I do not know. But let's just call that done for now. Okay, so we got 32 done, 17 done. What's 27? Is it this fat boy? It's 27? But also, we don't have full replacement parts, so we do have to kind of look over here for some things. Like, I remember this part. I think that goes under the main jet. Yeah, it does. That's part 16. under the main jet here, which we did or didn't do. I don't think we did. But which freaking way does it go? Kind of looks like it goes that way. Let's just drop that in. Maybe there is a gasket here. This is our experimental one. No, I don't think. I think that's fine. I think that without a gasket. This is our experimental carburetor, and then when we get to the second one, we'll see how many of our strategies don't work for the second one. You know what I should have done? I should have taken apart 2 carburetors and kept 2 carburetors assembled. Even though it would have meant I would have had to do 2 batches of clean in, it at least meant I had a fully assembled carburetor that I could use as a reference. That would have been smart. That's good intel, Murphy. That's good intel. But how does it help me put this back together? I don't know what part 27 is. So, okay, on the left-hand side here, let's put apart what we've used from the new kit. We've used this. We've used this. We've used those. We've used that. We've used one of the caps. We haven't used this. We have one that could be equivalent, but it's actually different. So for this one, we'll use the old one. Because like I said, this is just an eBayed kit. A cheap eBay kit. So we'll trust the old one originally. This could be from a very, very slightly different model Suzuki carburetor. So we'll use this as part 27, which I'm sure is accurate. And it goes to the left-hand side of the main one. So that can go in here. And that doesn't look like it has anything on it. That's just straight in. If you have any experience rebuilding carburetors, Murphy, please do chime in. Because we have experience deconstructing carburetors, and that's it. Not putting them back together, just pulling them apart. I'm actually pretty happy with how that's going, actually. We still got this one cap piece that I'm not sure what to do with. And I don't know what this is. This came in the new kit, but I haven't pulled out a piece that looks like this on any of the carbs. So I think we can safely put this aside. I feel like I should have been using more of the gaskets. But I don't want to force them in anywhere quite yet. This is the first carburetor. We might come back. So this is part 19. One of them went on top of the main jet. But where does the second one go? Surely it would be labeled as 19 as well, right? It would just use the same number for the same part. But I don't see anything. And what goes here? Does this just go here as well? Does this thread fit? This thread does fit. Put it in there for now. What could go wrong? There's a big ass threaded section here. I don't know what goes there. One I don't know. We straight up, maybe it's just that, no? I think it's just empty. There's nothing that I've got that could have come from that hole. I think that just stays empty. We got nothing. Okay, I am pretty happy with that. Let's see if we can get the float on. We have a screw that goes in against the float to hold it in place. Goes this way. Oh, is that what this does? Does this loop onto the end of the float? I don't remember, but it looks like it does. We'll do that for now. I might have to watch a full carburetor reassembled video on YouTube before I put this back in my bike. I'll just do what I can. And then this one, this guy? No, that's too big. Maybe just this fella. This fella just goes in here and keeps the float in place. Probably. That does not do a very good job of keeping the float in place. How does this guy stay in? Surely, I don't think it relies on the cover being on. Just take off that gasket for now. No, it's not held on by the cover. What is keeping our little float in place? I don't think it's this big ass screw because we don't. Oh, I'm looking at some of the screws from the other carburetors, and there's an. Oh, here we go. We do have one on this side. Okay, it's definitely this guy. Nice big flat washer. I didn't see him. Let's put this guy back on so we don't have a new part for this one. Take that guy out. Put this guy in, but I don't know how it's keeping the other side of the pivot in check. That seems to be where the problem is. No, and it's not even this guy either. The thread is too small. It's okay. We didn't lose it. So we have, there's a screw hole here on the left-hand side. We can clearly use that to hold down the pivot of the float. But then this left-hand or the right-hand side still comes up out of its spot, even if I'm holding down this. There's another screw hole underneath, but I don't see how that's going to help. Let me just put the old float in and see if that makes a difference. So with the old float here. Unhook that. Take this. Let's just see if this fits any better or worse. I mean, kinda, but not really. I feel like it's just in my head. The floats aren't identical, but they're pretty darn close. You got one old screw option that fits without a washer, though. I kind of feel like this part should have a washer. You know what? That does kind of fit. Yeah, we'll do that. Use the old float. Bounces nicely. We like a nice bouncy float. You know what? I think that's, yeah, because these 4 screws are to hold the cap in place. So I shouldn't have even tried using one of those. You know what? This is looking pretty darn good. This is looking pretty darn good. I don't think all these other parts of it. What is this E-clip for? I think Coro told me last stream when we did this. I don't have an E-clip in my old parts pile, which is interesting. So I don't know. Probably not necessary then. And yeah, we got nothing nothing critical missing by the looks of it. This one we use the old part for. This one is not needed for our carburetor. This one we already have in there. We just pulled it from a different packet. Put that off to the side. These 4 screws here are to hold the lid, the top, whatever it is, of the carburetor on. So the only thing we haven't used properly are the gaskets. So maybe I will undo a little bit of what I've done here and try and replace some of the gaskets properly. It's like this piece here, for example. This had a pretty worn gasket on it. Wait, can I even get that out? I straight up don't think I can get that off. That is stuck in there real tight. I don't think I can get that out of there. I could try and cut it off and put another one on. That gasket looks too big. If I was to get rid of it, this gasket is too small. That guy looks almost the right size. Could be this fella. Medium-sized, skinny. It's definitely not this fat one. I could try and cut it off, but that seems risky. Fuck it, we ball. I think this is a super worn gasket. It's been like pushed up and deformed. So like unlike some of the other gaskets that look like they're still in pretty good condition, this one doesn't look like it's in good condition. So I feel like we should go to the effort to replace it. Probably end up regretty spaghetti, but this is all part of the learning process. There we go. Old gasket off. So the question is, do we use the fat one or the thin one? Probably the thin one looks good. Bro, it looks too big. Oh no. The small one. I mean, maybe the small one? If the gasket on here is anything to go by, the tolerances of what I ordered are not great. Like, this is several mil too big this direction. They can just be forced to fit. But I wonder what gasket I'm meant to use on here. Small, medium skinny, or medium fat. And this is the old one. Okay, if I was to do the small one, we've already used the gasket for one of the other jets, and none of the others have gaskets marked. Like this thing has a gasket, but that's still in good condition. We don't need to replace that. Yeah, maybe we just go the small one. I can feel it. I can feel the gasket being useful there. I think we'll just send that. Okay, let's try and get this top bit on. If you've got any tricks, Murphy, or anyone else who's watching, on how to get a gasket to stay in position as you put it on, that would be great. Because, yeah, the tolerances on this are not fabulous. Like, can I, like, stick it in there with a bit of oil or something? But there's no oil on it. Like, I know you use oil on the gaskets on the oil filters, but I don't feel like you'd do that on the carburetor. Bit of fuel to stick the gasket in there. It's just millimeters off being staying in the groove properly. It's very annoying how close it is. The problem is when I push it in, I'm not going to be able to tell if it's in the groove or not. I've still got my old gaskets here, which I'm not going to use. They're way too brittle. I can feel how brittle they are. But yeah, these ones are really skinny as well. So the thickness of the gasket is fine. But yeah, these ones do just fit in a lot better. But yeah, not reusable. I wonder if any of the other ones are better. It's mainly this bottom bit down here has too much of a curve to it. I think the rest of it I can get lined up nicely, but it's just this bottom bit. But this one has the same. That one's the same. Yeah, they're all the same. Unfortunate. This is like getting a tire back on the rim of a push bike. You get one side on, and then the other side just pops off. And you keep going around the rim, popping it on, and then ahead of where you're popping it on, it keeps popping off. It's exactly what's going on here. It's just like a millimeter too long on every side at once. Hello, Coro. How's it going? I think I have the first one done, Coro. I think. I'm just struggling with my gasket. It's slightly the wrong size. How important is it, Coro, that the gasket sits directly in the grooves? It's probably pretty important, hey, otherwise fuel's going to start leaking out. Oh, this is pain. Ah, if only you could teach me how to do this, Coro. I think I'm doing okay. We've made a lot of mistakes, but I think now that I've got the diagram, that did actually really help getting the jets in the right places. But I just bought a cheap ass gasket replacement kit off eBay, and the tolerances on the gaskets are not great. So that's just gonna fall out as soon as I try to put it on. Oh god, Cora says it's very important. Oh, yeah, I did hear about the ultrasonic clean-in tubs, but I did not purchase. I thought that would be a bit overkill for me. I just cleaned it all with a toothbrush, as you saw. A toothbrush and some Kero, a toothbrush and some carb cleaner. That's a concerning observation. Okay, would it be crazy, Coro, to use like... It would be. It'd be crazy to use like a tiny bit of glue just to hold it in place, right? That would be a bad idea, I'm assuming. If you have any tips for getting these seated correctly, do let me know. So I could definitely use a tip. I need like 10 more fingers and then I could do it. 10 more fingers. Put it in the freezer. Wait, what? Put it in the freezer and lay it there real fast. If I do that, it might freeze like this bit down here is the problem bit. It's like it curves way too much. So if I put it in the freezer, it's still going to be stuck on the wrong curve, right? But I think this might be good enough. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. I think it was good enough, but then I touched it again. Oh, it's stuck to my fingers. Okay, I think this might actually be good. Sorry, I didn't really have that on camera. I had it like right up against my eyeballs. Okay, let's see if this works. If I can take my fingers off without it popping out. Oh, no, it just immediately stuck to my fingers. Stuck to the oil on my fingers. Oh, this is difficult. How's your weekend going, Caro? Have you been playing a bit of Broken Arrow or anything else? Oh, I'll give this a few more attempts, and if I can't, I'll see if I can do your freezer strategy, Caro. Oh, some Kingdom Reborn. The same playthrough that you showed me? Or is it one of those games where it's really fun to chronically restart over and over? Because, yeah, we do that with Civ all the time. This is insane. We get it seated good on one side, and then it pops out the other side. Does freezing it shrink it, Coro, or it just makes it a little more stiff so it's easier to get in? Or does it do both? I think that's good. There's no gaskets sticking out the side. How do I know if I got it correct? Put some fuel in it and see if it leaks. I do think I got that. Okay, I'm going to go put the other ones in the freezer now then. And I'll grab them when I'm ready. Okay, that is not right size screwdriver. Okay, I think we have one partially reassembled carburetor. We should get the whatever it's called, back in as well. This Duba. It actually manages the airflow, but I'll go freeze those gaskets first before we move on any further. This is why it's good having you here, Coro. I never would have thought of that. Okay, got the other 3 gaskets. All right, be right back. I'll be taking the audio with me, but I'll just leave the camera where it is. Burb's going to be very confused. What am I doing to her freezer? Hello, Burb.
Hello.
I'm putting things in the freezer.
You need to make this?
From expert advice. No, no space required. There we go. They can go. They can go next to some frozen spaghetti bolognese. This is perfect. Hello, can I get a flat spot? Okay, 1 can go next to the frozen spaghetti bolognese. The other 2 can go down here. And some frozen potato. Okay, gaskets are in the freezer. Okay, so I'll get everything else on the carbs done first before sealing the top in. Okay, this guy. I don't know which way up this has to be. I'll be honest with you. I don't know whether this side bit has to be upwards or downwards. I'm kind of feeling like up. Yeah, I think that's the case actually. Because we have countersunk screws that go in there. So I think this is the correct orientation. Where are my countersunk screws? Did I not clean them? Wait, what have I done with them? Oh no, yeah, I have them here. I thought they were more yellow, but no, they're here. Get tiny screwdriver. So we get this bad boy in first. There we go. And then beyond reassembling the individual carburetors, gonna have to figure out how they link back together again as well. This is gonna be tough. gonna be tough. It's not quite aligned properly, maybe. What's going on here? Looks pretty aligned. Oh, it just fell too far through when I turned it. Just need to stay in your exact place, buddy. Like there. I think that's perfect. My worst nightmare, Coro. Okay, well, maybe not my worst nightmare. But like, I put it all back together. I get it back in the bike. I turn the bike on. Fill the tank a tiny bit with fuel. I won't completely refill it. I'm not that much of an idiot. And just like something doesn't work, and then I have to take it all apart again. I'm really worried. Really worried I'm not going to be able to first time this. It's looking good on the other side as well. Oh, that was not great. These screws are very soft. I've already ruined one of them. I'm gonna have to go to the shops and get a replacement. Is that going through okay? Maybe. So I can't fully reassemble today because I do need to replace one of these screws that I'm dealing with now. But there we go. That's back in. Rotates nicely for full airflow and closes back up again. Yeah, how does one tune the carbs, Coro? Is that like underneath this cap? Is that how you tune the carbs? By like pulling the jets further in or out? Or is it something else? Because I have not even looked into it for a second. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or is it just this one jet here that's on the outside? You like use that and it controls the fuel intake for the rest of it. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, it's probably just this one on the outside then. This one on the outside is on the opposite side of this thing. And like I can see it in here. You probably can't see it on the camera. And if I screw it in further, it sticks out into this section more. So I guess this is like the master in some manner. Okay, I think we put this one aside for now. We still have we do have a bunch of screws here we didn't use. But these could be part of the assembling them together again. I don't think any of these are critical to the carburetor. Some of these we've replaced with new components. Don't know where this screw went. This is kind of an odd one. And I don't know where the E-clip goes, but I don't have an E-clip on any of my old part piles. So I think it's just a generic piece that came with the replacement thing I got and is not actually critical. So those are the new spare parts. Put the float in there as well. And then we just have this tiny section here of old parts that aren't used. And we 100% we used all the new parts for these. So it's not like any of these are missing. Those have just been replaced by new parts. So I'll put this one completed-ish one aside for now. And we move on to the next one. We should be way quicker now. In theory, anyway, we should be way quicker. This one does still have a little residue that an ultrasonic cleaner would be great for, but it's like 1% of the residue we had building up before we cleaned it. Okay, so we have new parts. New parts can go down here. We have this boy with that boy in it up there. We didn't get a replacement one of these, which is unusual, but okay, let's take this gasket off and replace it with a new one. Let's try not to slice myself with a Stanley knife. It's definitely something I would do. Here, gasket off. Let's get this one on. And looking at the diagram, yes, we cannot forget this part. And honestly, unclear which way it goes up, but it looks like it's got the fat part closer to the jet. So like this, like that. I'm sure that'll be fine. That gets screwed in. And then we just have one of the cap screws on top of it. And then left-hand side, we have this boy with a spring on it. And then on the spring goes a washer. And then on the washer goes this tiny little gasket there. And then this guy we gotta... Where was this guy again? Right in the front here. We'll try and put this in like sideways so the gasket doesn't fall off. I think the gasket's I think the old gasket's still in there. Let me get my head torch. No, it's not. It's clear. The old gasket is not still in there. We're good. What advice has Cora given us? Sometimes I have to gently rest the gasket between the two pieces, sort of gently push it into the assembly. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like kind of just jiggle it back and forth a little bit. Okay, so let's get this in here. Let's do this sideways so the gasket doesn't fall off. And then this one we should see peek in out into the main chamber here. Yep, there we are. Let's back that off a little bit for now. Okay, and then this piece we don't need. Let's put it back in the bag. We know we don't need it. Did I just lose a screw? No, I didn't. These 4 screws are for the top, so I don't need to worry about them yet. This one, we use the old piece because they are slightly different. So I'll use the older one rather than the new one. And it just goes straight in with nothing else into this hole. Okay, look at us. We're going so speedy here. We think this one goes in here. It only makes sense. It's kind of unclear on the diagram. And then that's it. Then we get the float back on. Bunch of other pieces on the outside for connecting this carb to the other carbs. But over on my board over here, no more spare pieces. None that are unaccounted for. We'll get a new float in this one. See how this goes. My God, if I can stop dropping things everywhere. Where did that even drop to? Is that this over here? And down here. Oh, I lifted the whole thing out. Whoops. No wonder that felt so weird. And then we just get a screw in the top there. Oh, I didn't do it underneath. Back that up. Get the axle in there. Okay, the float is in place, nice and bouncy. Okay, that was just way quicker. That was so much quicker. Let's put my spare parts away. Those are not spares, but this E-clip is a spare. Maybe we still use all these gaskets later on. I don't know. I don't know. We've got a lot of spare gaskets though. It's a little concerning, but it's just like, yeah, like I said, just a cheap eBay rebuild. So it might it might have like an extra part or two in there for a slightly different carburetor setup. I've got this guy, but I don't have the part that because it's still in here. I could never take this one out. Oh, was this the one that I fucked up? I think this was the one that I really fucked up, but I think I fixed it. I think we're good. I like really twisted it around. Or maybe it's this one. No, yeah, it's this one here. This one's twisted. It's the next carburetor. This one should be able to go in nicely. We just didn't really get it out fully. Yeah, okay, that one's nice and clean still. Okay, I think, nah, not quite lined up. I think that's lined up nicely. Let's get our little countersunk screws. Okay, these ones are not fit in nearly as well. I might have it misaligned slightly. I mean, I can see them pushing through the other side, so it is aligned. This feels a little dodgy is all. This feels a little dodgy. Okay, that left one is perfect. You're good, buddy. You're doing great. What about this right-hand one, though? Don't like how that feels. And I've already started to fuck up the head of this. I'll back off the other one a little bit, give it a bit of room to play if it needs it. Not liking this at all. Okay, no, that's good. I just really wasn't using the right size screwdriver there. Scotty would be very disappointed in me. Okay, this one's good. Nice movement. We won't do the gasket yet. We'll wait. Oh, we can... Oh, we can probably grab one out now and try and do it. I will pick it up, put it in this, and then not touch it with my warm hands. And hopefully that's enough to get it back out to the shed. Okay, we'll be right back. We'll see if we can execute Koro's freeze in the gasket strategy correctly. And if we can't, that's just all on me. That's not on the strategy. That is just fully on my execution of said strategy. The cat looks comfy on the couch. He was like hissing at me when we were walking. He's such a bizarro cat. Okay, let's see if this works. Try not to touch the gasket too much. It's resting on the metal. Try and jiggle it in place without touching it. Get it back to the shed in time. Let's see how this goes. I'm trying not to touch it, but I kind of need to. It's still way too big down the bottom. I'll try and just gently press it together. See how that goes. Maybe. No, I think it is sitting up too much here. Yeah, see, it's just this bit. It's this bit here that sticks up over the lip. Like, that's way too big. Just try and coax it in. Maybe if we have that bit in, even if that bit's out, we can jiggle that bit in if we just keep that main problem bit accounted for. Yeah, this is just user error. Koro, nothing wrong with your strategy. This is my execution. It feels like it's all in place apart from this back section here where it's got that way too much material. Maybe this will work. That does feel a lot better. I think the trick is to get that problem bit in, and then the other ones can just be like jiggled in. I think that actually worked really nicely then. Yeah, it took us. How long have we been going for? Where's the time on this thing? Can I see the time anywhere? I don't know if I can on the mobile interface. It probably took us like an hour just for the first carburetor, and then like 15 minutes for the second one. So we're moving. We're moving. Third carburetor. This is the one where I really messed up this part. I was trying to undo it and take it out, and I didn't realize it was twisting it. And I've mostly got it back in alignment now. But I don't know, you might be able to see that it's really not straight through here. It has problems. And also, let me turn the lights on. It's very overcast outside. It's dark. The cold wind blowing through the shed. So we don't need to do this yet anyway. Let's get another set of new components. Okay, we speed run this. Save these ones for when we've got the jets in, because we know they keep falling out all the time until we're ready for them. We got Big Boy. We need to take that gasket off, replace that. I think we skipped the Stanley knife. Let's just pinch it off with some pliers. It's done. Let's get small gasket. And then just consulting my diagram here. Yep, we are missing something. We need this bad boy. And it goes in probably this way. This way. That's definitely correct. Not going to overthink about that. Okay, and then we don't need this. We don't need this. We'll use the old one of those. This guy with the spring and the washer and the small gasket. Ah, shit. I'm just now realizing I didn't use the small gasket on that last one we did. So we're going to have to undo it. We're going to have to undo it. This one goes in here. We'll do that sideways so the gasket and the washer don't fall off the end of the spring. Do this up a little bit until we see it coming through. There we go. And And then we use these 4 are fine. We use them later. We use this old one here just by itself. It just goes straight in here. What sort of storms do you get where you are, Coro? You don't get hurricanes, do you? Of all the deadly spiders and snakes and everything in Australia, much rather deal with them than deal with a hurricane that can just come through and wipe out a whole neighborhood with literally nothing you can do about it. That sounds way worse. Okay, that's done. Let's get the float in. And we use the old screw. We didn't get a new screw in our pack, so we use the old one. Okay, that guy's locked in. Let's get this part in. Which way do we go here? So the other 2 carbs have theirs going towards each other. So this one's probably this way. But we have a whole bunch of springs we have to put on this one as well. I have to figure out how these go again. Hot earthquakes, though. We've allegedly had some earthquakes in southeast Queensland over the years, maybe like 2 or 3 since I've been alive, but I've never felt a single one of them. They happen at like nighttime or whatever. No, and if I recall, this spring goes on this side over here. So this bit is probably around the other way. See, I don't have specific diagrams for each carb. I don't even know like which carb this one is. But I think we can figure this stuff out okay. So this would go like that. Then we go in. And then what would this spring attach to? We're going to have to take it maybe in there. That looks like a spot where a spring would go. Potentially. Ooh, like an explosion. Okay. I thought I was in an earthquake or something once when I was in a shopping center, but it was just the quarry behind the shopping center setting off some explosives. It wasn't even an earthquake. Okay, so this one is still very stiff. Like, it doesn't go back to the spot it's meant to go back to, which is bad. Like, maybe I just have to loop the spring around once more, but I don't think that's it. I think I might actually have to buy this whole carb again. Because this is very stiff. It does not spring back properly. I don't know how clear that is, but... Okay, that could have been bad though. If you were like underneath a heavy appliance and there was an earthquake, that's probably one of the worst places to be. So I'm glad it wasn't enough to knock anything over. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. That does look like exactly where the spring should go. Maybe it needs the whole spring needs to do a whole extra rotation. I can't tell. So this should be its default orientation, like so. But the spring does not feel powerful enough to... Oh, actually, yeah, it kind of does. It does get it back there. But it's really stiff when I put it in here. That just like that feels okay. But then... So when it goes all the way through... Yeah, this isn't feeling good. Also, I bumped out a gasket or something on the other side, and I don't know where it's gone. That's what it looks like. But there was one on the other side as well. At some point, it has gone flying out, and I don't know where. I will proceed without it and see what happens. So just in there, that feels nice and smooth. Just in there, that feels nice and smooth. Let me take the spring off. Through both of them, it feels less smooth because I have bent it. I don't even know how I could go about fixing this up. I might just have to buy a new one of these if I can. Unfortunately for me, they're not all the same. So it's probably going to cost a little bit more. Just getting this part out, twisted it enough that it doesn't line up properly anymore. Very sad, very sad. Hello, friend of Koro's. Oh. Yeah, I see what your name is. I see what your name is. I was about to ask, how do I pronounce it? Hello, Stoner. How's it going? If you have any suggestions, Koro, on how to realign a piece like this, I'm all ears. But I think I think this might be the one thing that I broke properly in disassembling the carburetors. This might be the one properly broken component where I just have to buy a new. Because I can get it in here. I can get it in. But it just doesn't spring back to the spot it's meant to be. It's too stiff. I could try taking the spring on another full rotation, but that doesn't seem like it'd be particularly viable, to be honest. Let's try what happens if we take the spring all the way around. No, it doesn't even have that much play in it. It's not possible. Okay, we're going to leave this carburetor for now. We'll have to come back to this one. Well, that's 2 out of 4. Fully assembled so far. We'll come back to that one. Very sad. Very sad. I might have actually broken that one. But I think this last one we're good. Let's put the drain screw back in. What is PB Blaster? I would like to direct you to the title of the stream. I am very much just making shit up as I go along here. But we've done a few of these now, so we're getting a bit quicker about getting the jets back in at least. Let me put these spare components away. We'll get our last bag of replacements. Okay, we have small washer. Nope, we're missing something. We need this guy. Remind myself which way it goes. The fatter end towards the jet. So we go this way. This guy in top. It's a form of goo gone. Will that help if I've actually like twisted the part so it no longer aligns? It's not just a lubrication issue. I've definitely fecked it a little bit. These two we don't need. Put them aside. We use this one straight down here. This one in here. Okay, we got this boy with the spring, with the washer, with the gasket. And for now, we'll just do this one until we can feel it poking through into the main chamber. Because I'm a noob, Stoner. Because I'm a noob, that's how I twisted it. I was just trying to get it off. I was trying to unscrew a nut or something that was on this end. And I didn't realize it was twisting the whole thing and bending it. I thought it was the nut coming off. But yeah, the whole thing got twisted. I kind of fixed it up, but clearly not enough. Yeah, see, I think my problem was I took this off first. And this was providing a lot of structural integrity to it. So I took this out, and then I tried to undo it, which just allowed it to twist and get all out of shape. So I'm not sure if that one's recoverable. I might just have to buy a new component for that, unfortunately. But I think that's the only thing I have properly broken. Like, I still might need to buy a few tubes or hoses and things. But I think that's the only part that's properly fecked. So for my first time taking the carburetor apart, I am pretty happy with that. I'll be honest. I would have much preferred not to have broken it at all. That would have been ideal. But based on my skill level, experience level, I don't think we did a terrible job. Let's get this screw in that's holding the float in. There we go, it's sitting nicely. This one, not misaligned or bent at all. This one's perfect. I don't strictly know which way this one's meant to face, though. Oh, yes, I do. It can only face a single way. There we go, that's easy. Let's put that in. This is going to need... I don't remember how this one is connected, but this one doesn't look like it has a spring for itself. So it must be connected to the carb next to it. So I think it's safe to reassemble it for now. Let's grab 2 countersunk screws. I did put it back in before with the spring on it, on the twisted one, and it was not reset into the position it should be. But I think for now, that's a problem for future me. Let's see if we can get this done. Do you do some of your own mechanical work, Stoner? Or are you like Coro and you have a job? Well, he does his hobby stuff as well, but he has a job fixing stuff. Unfortunately for me, or fortunately, whatever, it's neither here nor there, I work 8 hours a day on a computer. So I don't get much much experience with things like this. But I'll take the opportunity to do so when I can and hopefully learn a little bit and not break too much in the process. And I think if I've only broken a single thing, that's pretty good. So these screws are kind of sensitive to their angle. There you go, that one's good. Right one's good. Left one is still struggling a little. Any second I'll have it. Any second. This one's being difficult, but I don't want to overcommit to it. Oh my god, well done. You got a dirt bike, road bike. What you got? A chef by trade, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, for me, I spend 8 hours a day on a computer doing data analyst type work, and then all my hobbies are on a computer as well. So I spend way too much time sitting in front of a PC, but that is kind of, we finally got it. That's kind of why I streamed the disassembly and the attempted reassembly of my carbs here, because it's a good way to keep me accountable. If Coro and Jet keep asking me every week when I'm going to go back and try and fix my bike again, It's a good way to keep me motivated. And Cora's been dropping some nice wisdom as well. There we go, that one's done. I don't know. I think this one must connect to the carb next to it because I don't see, there's nowhere around here for a spring to attach or anything. Those ones are all spare. And here we go. This is a trick Coro taught me. Let me go grab a gasket from the freezer and we'll put the top back on this one. So I'll leave the visual here, but I'll take the audio with me. Do you only leave the PC when you have to fix things, Coro? I mean, you've got 8 hours a day of work where you have to leave the PC to fix things. So that probably helps. Okay, I don't know if the audio is going this far, but I am currently in the freezer. Let me pull out this gasket. Try not to touch it too much. Bring it back to the shed. Let's see if I can get this on in a timely manner or not. So I think the strategy we figured out last time is just get this bit down here seated correctly, and then the rest of it will fall in place. Jiggle it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. That feels all right. It feels pretty okay. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about having a desk job or anything. I worked at the, for a while, a few jobs before my current job. I worked at the Port of Brisbane for 6 months, unloading shipping containers by hand, 20 foot, 40 foot, and that was pretty grueling. It felt good to be active, but that's definitely not something you want to do for years and years on end. So I'm not complaining about my desk job, that's for sure. And I've got some pretty good computer skills. I can recreate probably like most pieces of software inside Microsoft Excel. But yeah, kind of lacking in the practical skill department. So I'm forcing myself to do this. Okay, that one's good. So yeah, it's back to the problem child. So I did somewhat bend it back by getting this guy back inside of it. Did twist it back successfully, but even still, now that I've taken it out, I can't even get it back in again. I think I opened it up with a screwdriver and then got the plate inside of it. I did have this back in and twisted it roughly back into the shape it was meant to be in. But I just don't think it's enough. Like I put it in here with the Let's put the spring back on. I put the spring back on. This is its neutral position. Get that in the camera properly. I twist it 90 degrees and it just stays. Oh, it moved a tiny bit backwards then. It's just too stiff. Like if I go beyond the 90 degrees, the spring does do something still. Just can't get it back all the way. So I'm not sure what to do about this one. I think that's how I did it before. I'm pretty sure I did get a flathead in there. And then got this guy back in, but it just wasn't enough. Because, yeah, I'm not too worried about breaking it now because it is kind of already broken. See, that gets it just in. And it'll get the... What do you call this disc part? You've probably noticed that I'm just making up names for stuff as I go along. So that's kind of in. And I think what I did last time is I hit it with a piece of wood to get it all the way back in. There you go. It's back in. So it's kind of coming out this side. You go this way. Go a little bit further. A little bit further again. Flap, baffle plate, shiny. Got it. Okay, it might be a little too twisted now. I might have to back it out slightly. Or I can just keep smashing it. Oh, I meant to put it in from the other direction. I never noticed that before. And it's probably impossible to see on camera. But the groove is bigger on this side, and then it tapers down into the center. Or on this side, there's no groove at the edge of this. But on this side, the groove goes an extra way. So I am making this harder for myself by doing this the wrong way. Okay. Abort. Let's get it out, take it the other direction. Oh, I do not have the grip strength for this. This is really tight. It is really, really jammed in here. Yep, definitely made it harder for myself. Try to tap the plate with the wood, but not directly on the other block. Yeah, I think that's what I was doing. I was dangling it off the side. Let me get a thicker piece of wood and go like that instead. Okay, now let's try and get this thing out. There we go. That worked. Almost out. There we go. Now we can just do it by hand. Okay, other direction. Let's use our brains about this. Well, me, I'll try and use my brain. You guys, I'm sure, have been using your brain the whole time, but I haven't. I'm struggling. Okay, we're gonna have to get a screwdriver back in here. So we're coming in from the side with the taper this time. So it should be easier. Okay, it's staying pretty aligned so far. Okay, it's gone a bit skewiff now. But yeah, it's so stiff, it's hard to make adjustments. The other ones that I didn't twist are like, you can just slide this in and out nice and easy. Let me see if I can get this to twist back the correct way. Might not be the play. Yeah, it's twisted too far now. Unfortunately. Okay, that's back to straight-ish. Let's see if we can get this in a bit more cleanly. Nah, okay. It's just, okay. It's this side here that's really tight, and this side here is a bit looser. So even if I'm hammering in this side specifically, it's still going in the other side where it's looser. So how can I compensate for this, I wonder? I wonder. You reckon one screw in would help? I'm not just going to shear the screw off, am I, when I try and hammer it to get it to rotate with one screw in? But yeah, whatever. At this stage, I'm willing to give it a go. Okay, wait, we did a little better that time. Actually, we did a lot better that time. It's almost even. Just a little bit further. Okay, this side needs to come down some more. Okay, that is one perfect. I actually think I only have one screw, to be honest. Yeah, I did kind of fuck this up. I stripped a screw. And then I bent the thing. But maybe this little random screw that I have here can fit in nicely. Potentially. We'll see. I have one proper screw left. One proper screw and one improper. Let's see. It's not quite lined up to the hole. I wonder if I can do something about that before forcing a screw in. Maybe just some more tap in. Okay, you guys reckon I won't shear it if I don't full tighten? Let's see if I can line this one hole up. That's looking pretty good, actually. Not that screw, though. Did I just knock the other screw off? Did I leave it resting on the wood and now it's lost forever? Nope, here it is. Did not lose the screw. Is this the same? Is Stoner the same friend who wanted the ultrasonic cleaner, Coro? Or are all your mates nice and hands-on and mechanical? Oh, drop that. Oh yeah, that feels perfect. Okay, not full tightened. I backed it off half a turn. Let's see if I can get this lined up. Wrong way. This way. Oh, almost crushed my finger there. That would have been fun. Okay, that is looking pretty damn good. Like I said, I don't have a proper screw for this. But I can try. This screw honestly looks like it's the same thread size. Can try just throwing this in for now. Yeah, okay, that doesn't really fit, but it's partway in there. Oh, never mind, it's not partway in there at all. That should stiffen it up enough, though, that we can test it. Even just with one screw. So, spring. Ah, shit. Oh, no. We needed to get the spring on beforehand. I don't think I can get... Unless I can take this off. I mean, you definitely can take this off, but that's part of why I stripped this, I think. Because this was, like, so stuck on. I needed to put the spring on before we put the plate on. Ugh. So good. I don't think I can, like, coax it over here. Right. Why? Okay. Why was I putting it on outside the carburetor anyway? I don't remember. I don't remember the purpose of this now. Just to try and bend it back into shape. So, like, it is possible to get the plate back in here. Let's take it off again. Suppose we can try getting the plate on it when it's inside. But I do think it's too twisted. Because, yeah, even now it's still so stiff. Okay, so let's go spring on. Why can I not get that in now? It's like more stiff than it was before. Yeah, so it is very much still the same. I can feel that it's trying to spring back. Like, maybe I did bend the spring. Okay, if I do the spring around a whole other rotation, I don't think it's meant to be this tight. But that would probably work. Because it can't go past neutral anyway. What are the consequences of over-tightening the spring? I think that might actually work. And we don't have anything to lose right now. Apart from the other rubber gasket that looked like this that I've lost. Just put this one in this side, and if I find it later on, I can put it in the other side. So if that is neutral, see if we can get the plate in here. Wait, have I been putting the plate in the wrong way though? Am I meant to come at it from the other side? Possibility. No, I can't even get the plate in that way. We're going to give it a go. I did get it in the carburetor before. I think I had to stick a screwdriver in from the other side. Same as we were doing before, just not on the bench. But I've also got it twisted way more than I had it before. See what happens. We're going full caveman mode here, I think. If it breaks, it breaks, because I don't think I have another solution anyway. Okay, we've got it started going in there. Time to remove the screwdriver. Try and hold this so the plate is perpendicular. Let's start tapping again. But this time we're coming in from the side where the grooves, where we don't have extra large grooves. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect how accurate we can be here. And now that it's flush with the top of the carb, gonna need maybe this. No, that's too big. Gonna need this. It's also too big. Let me see what scrap wood I got. Ooh, this looks like it might work. Let me go tap, tap, tap. Ooh. Let's certainly get in there. A little bit further on the left-hand side mostly. Okay, okay. Maybe this whole time I just didn't do the spring tight enough. But no, it 100% feels stiffer than the other ones. But as long as it returns to neutral, then it's fine, right? Haven't quite got the disc centered properly. Have to do some more adjustments. But yeah, this is tricky. This is going to be tough to actually get it in the right position. Like maybe the screw can help pull it across, but I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We'll see if we can tap it out slightly and then tap it back in again. See if we can get a better alignment. Just tapped out slightly. It's mostly this one side. Nah, it's way too far now. Way too far. My confidence that this is going to work is not high, but the only solution is just buying new parts. So I'm very much willing to give this a shot. Come on, just line up, you son of a bitch. It's almost there, but it's not enough to get a screw in. Oh, it's close though. It's very close. I need a drink. A little drink break. Definitely feeling more confident about this than I was. So as you can see, it does successfully return to neutral by itself. And it's not even fully lined up yet. We just need to keep trying. And get those screw holes lined up. Get back the other way. See if that is enough to get a screw in. The little screw that could. You can do it, buddy. I believe in you. You freaking got this, mate. Talking to the screw, not myself. These aren't self-affirmations. Maybe it's better if I'm talking to myself instead of talking to a screw. I just don't think we got it lined up correctly yet. I think we might need to go back to tapping with the wood. If I do the same thing with the wood over and over again, surely it'll eventually line itself up correctly. So let's back it out like a decent way. Okay, I can't back it out any further that way because it gets skinnier on this side. Okay, a little bit more. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. I think I've pushed the axle thing too far through. That's why it's refusing to line up properly. I think I need to back that up a little bit. Or back it in more? In or out? Maybe. Yeah, I got it pretty twisted now. One side's too far in, the other side's too far out. If I just do the same thing over and over again, eventually it'll work. That's the theory we're working with here. Not the definition of madness. Maybe we take it out completely and try again. I just line this up like so.
Still not able to be pulled out by hand. Might be plier time.
This plate is made of brass, I guess. So I probably shouldn't be using those pliers on it. This is not going down evenly. It's going down very twisted. Probably because this is the stiff side and the other side's the loose side. It's one screw almost lined up, but one screw is not good enough. It was good enough when it was outside the assembly, but it's not good enough when it's inside the assembly. It's a real pity I twisted this part. But honestly, it might still be recoverable. See if I can get this out and start again. I think we need a solid reset here. Yes. Okay, we got it.
So maybe we didn't have it pushed in enough, and that's why it was misaligning. So we've pushed it all the way in now. This might work better. Here's hoping. I think we still need the screwdriver strat from the other side, the flathead. Yeah, I think we still need screwdriver strat. Okay, let's see how we go this time. Make sure it's pushed all the way in. Let's start tapping. Make sure it's pushed all the way in again. Tapping. Still not going evenly, but it might be enough. We're getting close. Oh, that actually looks perfect. Oh, that might have done it. Making sure the axle, pivot, whatever it is, was pushed all the way in might have just done it for us. See if we can get one of these screws in. Now I'm thinking a little bit ahead here. But when I go to clean up, usually I just douse my hands in white spirits and it's an amazing cleaner. But I have a few cuts on my hand at the moment. No, you meant alcohol. That's like a disinfectant, right? That's not going to be an issue. In fact, that'll probably be good for me. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yep, that is perfect. Whew. I'm not sure if this fully closes though. Let's compare it to one of the other ones. Yeah, so look, that one snaps shut, like nice and crisp. Let me do it next to the mic. You can hear that close in properly and cleanly, which you can't for this one. It like grinds to a close. So I don't know if this one's gonna seal properly. And yeah, the whole thing is sliding in and out as well. That makes it not close as well. Maybe we just need to get this adjusted correctly. There's a possibility this is going to work. Don't know which way this went up. Probably this way. And then we get this nut on the end. And we need to set that correctly. We might be saved. Maybe a 12 mil. 12 mil. Maybe. It's pretty stiff to open as well, which could also be problematic. These ones require very little force to open. Just like a small little, very little force to move. Whereas this one, yeah. Even though we've got it so it's closing properly now, I think we've over-torqued the spring to get it to close. So now it's stiff to open. We'll proceed assuming it will work. But if we get this back on the bike and there's still issues, it's definitely this carburetor right here. And we might just have to buy a new one. Hopefully we can find just this specific part. What would this mean? This would just mean my throttle is like harder to pull, which is fine, I guess, if this is actually stiffer than it should be. Let's make my throttle a bit more twisty. Increase my wrist strength. Okay, let's get the gasket and put the lid on. Be right back. We'll take the audio with me, but we'll go collect the gasket from the freezer. The big Coro strat. Was he scratching again? Oh. Yeah, I guess it is getting cold. What's the time? 4:30. Yeah. Probably going to have to wrap up soon because the shed's about to get dark. Even with the fluoro lights, they're all behind me.
Sorry?
I need to get a light that I can put directly above my desk bench. Because at the moment, I'm just casting a shadow over my own workspace. Okay, let's get this gasket in place. So we get this bottom bit in, and then the top will usually just slide in. We have discovered. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Where did those 4 screws go? Did I even get them out, or did I put them away? Put them away. Okay, maybe, just maybe, this carburetor is going to be fine, but honestly don't know. Honestly, do not know. I've got another, actually I've got it right here. Got another printout here. This one is incredibly low quality. It's very blurry, but it might be enough to figure out how to link all the carburetors together again. When you put it on the bike, make sure to leave it where it is easiest to remove if you have to in the future. Yeah, I don't think I have much choice, Coro. Right? Like, I have to take all the carburetors out linked together. So I don't think there's a harder or easier to remove spot. But I'll keep that in mind. But maybe, thanks to your help, Coro, and Stoner, if he's still there, this carburetor might be usable. But we'll get onto the full linkage assembly. Maybe I'll stream it midweek. I'll see how I'm feeling. We don't have a maybe Tuesday night potentially. But this is going to have to be it for now. The sun is dipping below the trees, but not quite below the horizon. And I need to do some gardening before the sun fully sets. So this is a good place for us to wrap up our carburetor rebuilding. We're making progress. There you go. Thank you for both of you for helping. I don't know if I would have been able to get this one back in here without the advice you guys have given. It is very helpful and very appreciated. But that is it for now. I'll probably be back on in like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours for a gaming stream. But for being a useful adult, that's enough for now. That's enough being a useful adult. GG, guys. I'll see you later. The stream's going to go for like 20 more seconds after I kill this because I have to go to my computer to turn it off. But GG, good stuff. See you guys later. Appreciate you being here. Goodbye, goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.